Welcome back to my corner of the internet. I hope you enjoy your stay here, and if you don't, then I don't know. Anyways, this is a continuance from the last video that I made. It ended up taking me like 3 to 4 days to finish this. And this initially just started out as this is how it's going, and then the next clip is gonna be me drawing the next box. But this first started out as like, if you've been watching the other videos on my channel, then you would know that I do like these boxes, and then I just put drawings in the boxes, and like because I would do it for movies, but I haven't really found any good movies on YouTube. So, because I watch YouTube movies, I don't really watch anything else, really. Because, I mean, watching movies has always been so hard for me, because like either the movie plot is like the same as a whole bunch of different other movies, and like I can already tell exactly what is gonna happen next. So like the thrill of watching a movie is just gone for me. I just feel like these replicas are the same, or like these are like directors, like they just keep taking like, like the old movies, and then they try to like flip it and like remake it, and I'm just like, can we just have like a new movie concept, please? Like, I don't think it's that hard, but apparently it is. So anyways, like I said, I just haven't really found a movie that I want to watch. Honestly, I don't feel like paying for no movie, really. So but I like the whole idea of drawing squares and filling them with drawings, because I feel like when it's done, it looks super cool. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw even more boxes this time, and we're just gonna like put tiny little like doodle drawings in the boxes. And I think the boxes this time, I ended up with like 24. It's 6 by 4. Yeah, there's like 4 rows, and there's 6 boxes in each row. So this was like, all of this together was 24 boxes. And the first box, I just kind of like drew what came to mind, which is basically just a tear and a girl's face. And then the next box, I drew like waves from like the ocean waves. Like, you're gonna see it here. So like the first one I drew is the first thing that came to mind, because I was just gonna draw a whole bunch of doodles, and then I drew waves with a cloud, and then I drew a clouds with a sun, and then that's when I realized that everything is starting to connect. So I just kept going with the whole connecting thing. So from the sun you get the moon and stars, and then because of the moon you have nighttime. So I put trees with a dark background, and then trees, it's kind of like a plant, like a flower. So that's where I got the flowers from. And then flowers, you normally see butterflies around the flowers. And then butterflies fly just like birds. And then birds, sometimes they'll dip into the lake and they'll eat a fish. So that's why we drew fish next. And then I drew a jellyfish, because jellyfish is a fish. And then I drew balloons, because jellyfish kind of look like an underwater aquatic balloon. And then I drew a diamond, because, balloons are shiny. Diamonds are also shiny. And then I drew a mountain. And when I thought of mountains, I thought of hills. So the piece that the part that I drew today, that you just watched me draw, was hills with a sun. And then I thought of leaves. So I drew leaves. And then because of leaves, you sometimes find caterpillars crawling on the leaves, or like eating the leaves. So I drew a caterpillar, and then a lot of times you see like a caterpillar coming out of an apple or something like that. So I drew an apple. And then because apple are a fruit, I drew grapes because grapes are fruit. And then grapes come off of a vine. So I drew vines. And then vines are plants kind of like mushrooms. So I drew mushrooms. And then when I thought of mushrooms, I thought of like cottagecore stuff, kind of like fairy-esque stuff. And then that's where the idea of a village came from. So I drew a village. And then inside of a house, I don't know why, but I thought of a toilet. So I drew like an old style toilet. Then I drew a sink because obviously you got to wash your hands after you use the bathroom, right? And then because I drew a sink, I drew a glass of water. Because normally you get a glass of water from the sink if you drink tap water, but I drink bottled water. The water where I am it's hard water. It's not good. But yeah, and then the glass of water kind of links back to the first square of the tier. So I kind of drew like a connective like drawing without even knowing what I was doing in the first place. So that's kind of cool. I love how it turned out. And then I decided to draw a jellyfish. This one is my favorite jellyfish out of all the ones that I drew. I did end up finishing the page though. I don't know. Art block has really took, I know like hearing like, I don't know, like art block, it just, I do not like art block. I don't at all, because I never know what to draw. And then it's like, just draw anything, but just drawing anything is kind of hard. Because like, if I don't really feel like drawing it, then I'm not going to want to draw it. And I don't want to force myself to draw it. So, and that's when I kind of start looking for like inspo on the internet, obviously. I'm looking on Pinterest. Pinterest is just not giving me what I want. So I'm watching all these other videos on like a day in the life of artists and like what are they drawing? How do they deal with like art block? And that's when I found like a lot of artists have like a comfort draw, like they comfort draw, which is basically they draw something that they like normally just draw like randomly, kind of like how people, you know, those like weird S people always draw. We never know what to call it. Like it never, I don't think it, I still think to this day it still doesn't have a name, but like that thingy. And then like sometimes people just like draw like flowers, or they draw hearts all the time, you know, like the shiny ones where they put a sheen on it, or like they sometimes draw flowers. Like, you just, like, random doodles that you just do on the side of your page when you're, like, taking notes for class or something, or on your homework. You're just, like, kind of procrastinating, so you're just doing that. Like, it's sort of like that, but for, like, artists. For lack of a better word. And that had got me thinking, and I was like, I don't really have, like, a random, like, drawing that I just constantly just, like, draw all the time. I mean, other than eyes, I used to draw eyes all the time, but like I don't like to do that anymore, simply because like I don't know, like, it doesn't give me the same appeal as it used to. And then I was like, well, what? And then I was just kind of like contemplating, like, what do you want to draw? Like, at the end of the day, what do you want to draw? And my mind is just like always went blank. And I'm just like, well, girl, you can't just not draw. I don't want to just like not draw anymore. And like art block comes so frequently. And I just like, I don't want to just stop drawing all because I have art block. I'm dealing with art block. I'm just not really feeling very motivational or like inspirational. And I don't want that to like stop me from drawing. So then I was like, well, what do you want to draw? And like, I never have any ideas as to what to draw. And then I'm like, well, why don't you just like turn to studies? Like study something then. If you don't really have an idea of what to draw, like you can just study something. And I didn't really like the idea of that either, really. Because I mean, like, when I hear the word study, I think of school. And I am not the type of person that likes school. I was never one of those people. I did not like school. School was very hard for me to tolerate. I got good grades most of the time, but it's just, school's really not for me. So that I don't really like to hear the word study, but I mean, what else are you going to call it, right? So I was like, maybe I could like do a study of something, but then I was like, well, of what though? Because like, I think I always default to just doing landscapes all the time. And that's not a problem. That's not an issue. There's nothing wrong with that. I love landscape drawings. I like to draw landscape all the time. I like to paint landscapes all the time. But then I was like, something a little bit more challenging. And then I was like, well, drawing people's faces isn't really that hard. I'm not really feeling very painterly right now. So I was like, I don't even want to practice painting somebody right now. So I wanted to do something that was just really like literally simple. So basically just paper, pencil, and an eraser. That's all I wanted to do. So I was like, drawing a person's face isn't really that hard for me. I feel pretty okay with where I'm at when it comes to being able to draw or like sketch out people and like poses and stuff. Like I feel pretty confident in that. Like I'm pretty satisfied with how like where my skills are at with that. You can watch my first sketchbook tour towards the end, all the people sketches that I've done. I feel very confident with my skills on that, so I don't really feel like I would get much out of that. Like, obviously, I can always keep drawing that because, you know, I'm like constantly drawing stuff. Even if you feel comfortable in it, you can still learn from it and you can still keep like your skills up. But like, I just didn't really feel like drawing people or faces. So I was like, I mean, I could draw animals. I was like, that's one thing. You don't really draw that often. And I was like, true. But like with animals. Because normally like when I watch artists, I normally see like drawings of dogs, cats, chickens, maybe a bear. Birds. I'm pretty sure there's more, but like those are like the main like 4 or 5 that I always see. And well, chicken is a bird. Why did I? Okay. Anyways, but I always see people like drawing like those type of animals, and I was like, I don't want to. Honestly, for me, drawing like furry animals are really hard for me because I can't get it to look how I want it to look. And that is so hard because I have the way I want it to look in my head. But when it's time to put it on paper, it's just really hard. Because like doing just like strands of curly hair looks weird. And then like if you group it into sections, that still looks weird. Like, I don't know. So I was like, I don't want to draw any furry animals right now because that is going to drive me insane. I can do that type of study sometime later. I'm not really interested in drawing furry animals. And then feathers are also hard because like it's like there's a lot of, you know, you got the animals with a lot of feathers and stuff, and it's similar to hair, but like way different from hair. So and I drew birds before, like in my second sketchbook. Well, I drew in my first sketchbook tour, but my second sketchbook tour, I remember drawing birds, and that was really hard, like, to do. Like, the pencil sketch of it wasn't even that hard, but like when it came to adding the color, it kind of ruined the pencil sketch. It still kind of looks okay, and I'm not satisfied with that, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure at the time of that, when I made it though, I probably really liked it, but now looking at it, I'm just like, I could have did better. I definitely could have did better. And then that's when I was like, okay, so outside of animals that have fur or have feathers, like, what else can you draw? And then that's when I was like, okay, that's practically almost every land animal. So then I was like, why not do aquatic animals? And then I was like, well, I don't want to draw like a regular just fish. Because like when every time I'm like, okay, like just draw a fish, the first fish that pops up in my head is like a koi fish. And like I draw that like all the time. And I was like, well, I don't want to draw something that I'm like, I don't know, like I was like, okay, girl, you always draw koi fish, but it's never like accurate when I draw a koi fish. It's always like a koi fish mixed with a betta fish. You know the betta fish, like the male betta fish has like the they have like beautiful fins, and it's like they're really pretty to look at. And I always put that, but like on the koi fish. And I'm like, girl, that's not even accurate to the actual fish, for one. And two, I wanted to draw something different from that. So then I was like, maybe turtles. But I wasn't really feeling turtles. I like turtles, don't get me wrong. It's just that I remember drawing turtles in my second sketchbook tour towards the end. So I was like, okay, something else that I don't normally draw. Like, it's like, I wanted to draw something that's literally vacant from my sketchbook. And then that's when I thought of like sharks, whales, seals. And I was like, I don't really want to draw those either, honestly. I want to draw something else. And then I was like, jellyfish. You only drew jellyfish once in your sketchbook. And the one time that I drew it in my sketchbook was in my first sketchbook tour towards the end. It was on one of my favorite pages out of that sketchbook. I only drew one jellyfish. I never drew a jellyfish ever again after that. And I was like, jellyfish are kind of cool. They're like completely unique from most of the aquatic animals in the ocean. And then that's when I thought about it, and I was like, bro, nobody draws jellyfish. Why? And then I was like, I kind of like jellyfish. Jellyfish are kind of cool. So then I was like, well, why not draw jellyfish? So that was when I decided to draw jellyfish. And I went on Pinterest to find some pictures of jellyfish that I can draw. And I just decided to fill up this whole page with jellyfish. And a lot of the pictures that I drew, like some of the pictures on this page that I drew it gave me enough challenge that I was looking for. So it wasn't too hard for me to draw like a dog or a cat or like any furry animals or like birds or anything like that with feathers. Like it wasn't too hard to draw, but it also was not easy. Because like there's a lot of twists and turns and like folds and like I don't know what it's called. I just kind of drew a whole bunch of octopus. What? I just kind of drew a whole bunch of jellyfishes. Okay, not octopus. I just kind of drew a lot of jellyfishes. I don't even know what these jellyfish are called. I'm pretty sure the name was on the posts that I saved. The references that I saved, but I didn't write them down on the paper, on the page, and I also don't remember what the names of the jellyfish are, but I just drew a whole bunch of jellyfish. I just decided like fill up the page with jellyfish. And yeah, like I don't know what they're called, but you know the folds. Okay, I'm not working on it right now, but I was working on it. But like trying to get the folds, like, cause I don't know if you call them like the little lines that I just drew in are like tentacles. But what I'm working on now is like I want to say the frills. Is that what it's called? I think it's called frill. The frills of the jellyfish. The little like flowy part that I'm working on right now, like that part is especially hard to draw. And the head part, because like a lot of the jellyfish's head is like see-through. So even though this is just like a pencil and pen drawing, it's kind of hard for me to like get that see-through effect. You know, I still kind of keep it like, I mean, it's not hard, but you know, I didn't want to just block everything in with like a whole bunch of pen and lines and whatnot, but it gave me enough challenge. But it, like, you know, just not, like I said, it wasn't too hard, like fur and feathers, but it wasn't easy either. Kind of like drawing people or drawing landscapes for me, you know. So, and on top of it too, I had a lot of fun drawing. I had a lot of fun drawing these jellyfish, but I procrastinated so hard because I was like, what if the jellyfish don't even turn out right, or like, what if I don't even like it? And I procrastinated so hard. Like, I literally tried so hard to just like not draw, but in the end I forced myself to just draw it anyways. If it don't turn out right, well, at least I drew something today instead of not drawing right. But yeah, I ended up filling up this page. It took me almost all day though, because trying to get it somewhat accurate to the reference, you know, detail wise, because this was kind of like a study of jellyfish. Wasn't a complete study, but like it was kind of like a study of jellyfish, and I wanted to get it accurate for like my first couple of times drawing jellyfish. So it was really fun. I had fun drawing this. It wasn't too much of a hassle as I thought it was going to be. I just thought it was just going to be too much, but yeah, I think that's the end. This is how the jellyfish ended up turning out. Yeah. Yeah. I really like how this page turned out. I wish I could add color, but I was not in the mood for adding color. But yeah, that's the end of the video. You already know what to do if you enjoyed. If you want to support me more, then you can check out the links in the description, and I'll see you later.